For member statements today, we will hear from the honourable members for the districts of Torngat Mountains, Humber-Bay of Islands, Mount Pearl-Southlands, Mount Pearl North, and Fortune Bay, Cape Hune. The Honourable, the member for Torngat Mountains.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to recognize the first graduates of the Inuit Bachelor of Education degree program. This program is the first of its kind offered by Memorial University's Faculty of Education in partnership with the Nunavut government. In addition to earning a Bachelor of Education degree in primary elementary education, the graduates earn a certificate in Aboriginal and Indigenous Studies. The program's Labrador Inuit educational context and the Nunavut government Inuktitut language program makes it unique and very priceless to the preservation of the Labrador Inuit culture and language. The 10 graduates will play a pivotal role in leading the education system towards cultural and language renewal. To quote Dr. Sylvia Moore, Assistant Professor at the Labrador Institute, this partnership with Nunavut government is an example of Memorial University's work with Indigenous governments in the province, she said. Such collaboration, particularly in teacher education, is crucial. I was fortunate enough to talk with the students about the excitement they felt and to share in their hopes and their dreams. So please join me in congratulating the following graduates of the Inuit Bachelor of Education degree program. Roxanne Nukasuk, Doris Boas, Catherine Mitsuk, Marina Anderson, Julie Flowers, Jennifer Rose Campbell, Jody Lyle, Cheryl Allen, Tracy Doherty, and Felicia Edmonds.
The Honourable, the member for Humber-Bay of Islands.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in this Honourable House to recognise Jackie Barrett, a remarkable athlete from my district. Jackie joined the Special Olympics as a swimmer in 1987 before switching to powerlifting in 1995 and was an impressive sporting career ever since. Originally from Nova Scotia, he moved to Newfoundland in 2008 and is affectionately known as the Newfoundland Moose for his impressive lifts. Jackie has dominated powerlifting over the years, accumulating 20 gold medals, representing Canada at the Special Olympics with 13 first-place finishes, and smashing records, including the Newfoundland Men's Master 1 Super Heavyweight record, and in 2015, he set 3 Special Olympics world records. He's a recipient of the Male Athlete of the Year award both in Newfoundland and Labrador and Nova Scotia. And in 2015, he received the Special Olympics Canada Dr. Frank Hayden Lifetime Achievement Award. On November 15th of this year, Jackie will be the first ever Special Olympic athlete to be inducted into the Nova Scotia Sports Hall of Fame. Jackie retired in 2015 but continues to mentor volunteers with Cornerbrook Special Olympics. I ask all members to join me in congratulating Jackie on this prestigious honour and wish him the very best in his future endeavours. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable, the member for Mount Pearl-Southlands.
Mr. Speaker, it's my privilege to stand this Honourable House to recognise tremendous success, which was the 37th annual Frosty Festival in the city of Mount Pearl. Once again, this year's festival included various activities for citizens of all ages and interests, including a night at the Oscars, Frosty style, featuring Spirit of Newfoundland, a pedestrian parade of lights, 2 community breakfasts, Frosty's Big Birthday Party, a lip-sync contest, a concert and dance featuring the Masterless Men, the Irish Descendants and the Navigators, an Irish pub night, a seniors bingo, a jigs dinner and variety show, Battle of the Brains trivia night, a dinner theatre, just to name a few. Mr. Speaker, as I'm sure you can appreciate, any festival of this magnitude would not be possible if it were not for the hard work and cooperation of a number of community partners. I would therefore ask all members of this Honourable House to join me in congratulating the City of Mount Pearl, the Frosty Festival Board of Directors, various community groups and organisations, corporate sponsors, and all of the community-minded volunteers who contributed to the great success story which was Frosty Festival 2019. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable member for the District of Mount Pearl North.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognise Mr. Charles Starks, one of 7 World War II veterans honoured at the 75th D-Day commemorative ceremonies held in Halifax. D-Day, June 6, 1944, Mr. Starks was just 22 years old and was a torpedo man on the aircraft carrier that took part in the Allied invasion of occupied France. He recalls their cargo decks were loaded with equipment needed by the forces when they landed on the beaches. Starks said the coastline was visible during the day as barges continued to come alongside to carry their cargo ashore. He said he and his young crewmates, most of them early 20s, were not afraid and were glad to be a part of it. Bravery shown by Charles Starks and his comrades that day was beyond measure. These young men were willing to give everything they had for their country and for each other. Closer to home, Mr. Starks was also one of the original members of the Singing Legionnaires. He is still a member today and has really missed a performance in 52 years. As a matter of fact, while Mr. Starks would love to be here today, he was pre-committed to singing with the Legionnaires at St. Pat's Mercy Home today. I ask all those present to join me in pay tribute to Charles Starks for his brave efforts in preserving our freedom and independence.
And the honourable member for the District of Fortune Bay, Cape Lahune.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in this honourable House to acknowledge Brendan Collier of St. Albans. Brendan is well known to his community of St. Albans and over the years held a strong belief in helping and serving his community in many ways. Brendan, along with many others, began and laid the foundation for the Bay d'Espoir Medical Clinic that is still in operation and continues to serve residents in that community and surrounding areas. He was one of the first employees to begin working at this clinic and held the position as a maintenance worker for 30 years. In addition, Brendan was and remains an avid volunteer for various organizations throughout his community, such as Cadets, St. Albans Fire Department, Beavers, Cubs, and the Lions Club. He enjoyed his music and was well known for playing in the Party House Band. Brendan's leadership was so outstanding, he received the Pathway of Heroes Award at the town's volunteer evening on May the 15th. He is well respected by his family, friends, and his community. I ask all honourable members to join me in congratulating Brendan Collier.